Amid a resurgence of COVID cases across Southeast Asia and Europe, the government on Thursday warned states not to let their guard down and advised them to continue focus on the five-fold strategy of test, track, treat, follow COVID-appropriate behavior, and vaccinate while resuming economic and social activities in their jurisdiction. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan, in his letter to all states and union territories, also asked them to ensure adequate testing of samples to ensure timely detection of new variants and also to motivate people to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Moving on to the next news, India's legitimate energy transactions should not be politicized and countries self-sufficient in oil or those themselves importing from Russia cannot credibly advocate restrictive trading, government sources said today. The US had on Friday said that while India importing discounted crude oil from Russia won't amount to violating its sanctions, it would imply supporting the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Indian Oil Corporation, the nation's top oil firm, has already bought as much as 3 million barrels of crude oil that Russia had offered at a steep discount to prevailing international rates, sources said. Pointing out that Russia has been a marginal supplier of crude oil to India, sources said that the jump in oil prices after the Ukraine conflict has now added to our challenges and the pressure for competitive sourcing has naturally increased. There is no government-to-government arrangement for the import from Russia, they further added. Moving on to the next news. Iran is ready to meet India's energy security needs, its ambassador to India was quoted as saying on Friday, as negotiations continue between the world powers and Tehran on lifting of sanctions against the OPEC member. Iran used to be the second largest oil supplier to India, but New Delhi had to halt imports from Tehran after former US President Donald Trump withdrew from the nuclear deal with Iran and reimposed sanctions on its oil exports. Rupee Rial trade mechanism can help companies from both the countries to deal with each other directly and avoid third-party intermediation costs, Ali Chegeni was quoted as saying by Indian facilitation body MVIRDC World Trade Center. Moving on to the next news, the central government today provided Y-category security cover to the Kashmir Files director Vivek Agnihotri with CRPF cover pan-India, government sources told news agency ANI. The feature film, which has received unprecedented government backing, is based on the exodus of Kashmiri Hindus from the Kashmir Valley during the height of militancy. Riding on overwhelming government support and tax breaks from several states across the country, the controversial movie has become a runaway box office success and is racing towards ₹100 crore in collections. It has also come under bitter criticism as it's unprecedented for the government to put its weight behind a commercial movie. Moreover, the sensitive political nature of the film and charges of inaccuracy, deliberate misrepresentation of facts has led to the accusations of the government indulging in propaganda. Moving on to the next news, National Conference Working President and the former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah, on Friday called the Kashmir Files a concocted story by saying that many lies have been projected in the movie. While talking to the media on the sidelines of a rally in Kulgam district of South Kashmir, Omar said that it wasn't clear whether the movie is a documentary or a film. The makers have claimed that the movie is based on reality, but the fact is that many lies have been projected in the film. The biggest lie is that there was an NC government. It was the governor's rule in 1990 in J&K when the Kashmiri Pandits left. At the center, it was the BJP-backed government headed by VP Singh, Omar said. He also said that Kashmiri Pandits are not the only ones who had to migrate or were killed. Muslims and Sikhs were also killed. They too had to migrate from Kashmir and haven't returned yet, Omar added.